Hey guys, happy Saturday. It's episode 169. Welcome back to the show. Hey, what's up? It's Jacqueline. Welcome back to the show. Q&A number 19. I'm just going to start off with the first question. I'm going to get right into it. First question. How do I listen to the podcast every day? And this is like a two-part question. And how do I donate my money to the show to support Jacqueline Monroe's podcasting dream and career as being the future female Howard Stern? Great question. Let me answer that for you. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button to listen every day on the Apple Podcast app, Spotify. This is so fucking cringy, and I did invent that question. And I feel like a 4-year-old would have come up with that as a funny way to intro the show. And guys, it's my afternoon slump right now. Like, I just felt like I needed to create some sort of interest in the beginning sentence or the beginning segment to ask people to subscribe and shit, because I feel flat as fuck and boring. It's Saturday. It's like 4 fucking p.m. I don't have any beverages around me. No caffeine on board. You know what? I don't listen, so I'm not going to cringe. I don't care. I'm just going to post it. So yeah, hit that subscribe. Fuck! Shit. Okay. Hit that subscribe button to listen every day, and head over to patreon.com/TJMS to do the donation part, the pay to play part, to get access to my exclusive content and support my passion and my dream career as a female what the fuck did I say? Female Howard Stern. I joked about that in like month 1 that I'm attempting that daily thing, like like a Howard Stern thing, by drowning everyone out, just talking all the time, getting people familiar with hearing my voice, being a household name like that. I feel like I have to do quantity over quality at first, just like ram this shit in people's inboxes every day. And then over time, I'll be a familiar voice, like a Howard Stern. And I don't put myself at that level until like year 15, but you got to start somewhere, small city, big dreams. I'm just trying my best and posting it every day, and fuck it. So it's obnoxious to ask people for money, but like that's literally what I just did, and I'm just going to move on. I don't just give away, there's no such thing as a free lunch. And if you want my phone number, because yes, my patrons get my phone number and calls with me, you got to pay to play. Okay. That's not no such thing as a free lunch. All right. First question. I'm going to really, you know what? I know that was fucking annoying, and I'm tired, and I tried to be fucking like, that sucked, but whatever. I'm going to move on to the first question. Why did you delete Twitter? First question of Q&A number 19. Why did you delete Twitter? Easy answer. I mean, shit, it's a wasteland. It's a wasteland. And, as you know, I deleted Twitter after they banned Trump and took his account away. I wasn't too excited about that. And I don't think that's good for society, and I don't agree with what they did. So I was like, I'm not going to fucking be on here anymore. And personal opinion, that's just how I feel. I don't think that's a good thing. I mean, he's our fucking president, and that's kind of scary when you think about it. So, and if you're cool with that, like, please enlighten me. Let me know why that was a good thing. Why banning him was a good thing. I don't know. I like to hear other people's opinions, and I don't know, whatever. So there's that. I didn't use it very much. And the only reason I used Twitter was like to just check like pop culture news and like current events. I'd like see the buzz, like what people are talking about, and then I get out. Like I didn't really contribute much. I used to tweet all the time in like college and shit, but I don't really use it. And now I feel like Clubhouse is the new Twitter. Like the hype and the buzz around Clubhouse is reminding me of like 2009 when Twitter popped and all of the business people flocked to it. I feel like Twitter initially was kind of like it had like a LinkedIn vibe. I feel like it was a bunch of businesses and like maybe tech people too, but like tech wasn't huge back then. They were all like flocking there, and it was really dry before it got insane like it is now. And yeah, so I'm noticing the buzz around Clubhouse is reminding me of what Twitter was back in the day, and it's kind of replacing Clubhouse is kind of replacing Twitter for me currently. And I can't stop. You didn't even ask about Clubhouse, but I am a fucking like I'm a rat. I'm on there all day, every day, just like I can't stop. So yeah, I'm not on Twitter. It's not my thing. And yeah, next question. Question 2, what's your podcast routine? I'm going to reach really hard to try to coax a bottle of water close to me because I really need a drink. Hold on. I'm going to use a makeup brush to hook it. There we go. Okay. Sorry. It's, afternoon slump. Let me have this. I feel like if I stay hydrated, it'll boost my energy. I don't know. Sometimes you're tired because you're dehydrated. So I'm going to just think that, I guess, and keep drinking. Okay. So I've been stretching a lot lately too. And I heard that when you do a lot of yoga and stretching, you should drink a ton of water because your muscle fibers are changing the water, the molecules of water are changing in your muscle. Something about that. Molecules of water in muscles they need more water. I don't know. So yeah, whatever. Next question. So I said, what's your podcast routine, right? Next question. Is this fun? Do you want to know the behind the scenes of my podcast routine? I mean, lately it's been today, just no prep, just fucking start it. And then there are the days, especially the beginning days back in September and October, November, but when I started in 2020, where I have my notebook, let me find it next to me here. It's full of, I would number off the topics or things I wanted to talk about to keep me on I don't know, I'd do 1 through 5-ish, no less than, or no more than 8 topics. When I look here and I highlighted stuff just to keep me kind of on track. And wow, this is so organized when I look back. And now I'll I have my other notebook that I just write in all the time from shit I see online or things I think about. And now I just kind of refer to that. And I don't know. Is the content lacking because of that? Probably. But look, I'm doing the best I can. I'm not stopping. I'm here 7 days a week. That's what it is. Some days are going to suck. I'm not going to come prepared and whatever. If you want to know my routine though, about maybe the production side of things, Jacqueline, what a shitty way to, bring value to people, or what a fucking, lazy, unprofessional way to be, bitch. I'm just being honest. Some days it's a Saturday. I don't want to be here right now. Some days are like that. I'll be honest. I'm not going to pretend that, it's not that I don't want to be here. It's that I just decided to start at 4 p.m. and I'm regretting it as I'm talking right now. And I feel like I want to delete this and do it tonight at 10 when I'm getting my second wind of energy. So whatever. But on the production side of things, sorry. Oh, fuck. Okay. On the production side of things, I open GarageBand. I file new, enter. I insert my mic, the $30 call center headset microphone from Amazon. I insert that and I press record. I talk, and then when I'm done talking, I stop recording and I export it, upload it, and then that's it. No editing, nothing. I just add my intro music, which takes 30 seconds, and that's it. So that's kind of the production side of things. Yeah. And you might be what's wild? I've received compliments on the audio quality. like I'm like, are you kidding me? I didn't invest in is it the Shure microphone SH? It's like the one all the best it's like if you're like a legit podcaster, you own this microphone. It's like the Shure is SHURE mic. It's been around forever. Whatever. It's like is it like the C7? Let me look it up right now. I'm on it. It's all like it's in my Amazon podcast list of shit that maybe in the future I'll get. But the reason I got this headset, let me go back to that, is because I wanted to look. I didn't want a big bulky microphone in front of my face when I did video at first because I was on YouTube, and I was like, I want to look like a pop star. I want it to be cute, so that's why I went the call center headset way. Lists Studio, is that what it was? Shure SM7B. Yeah, that mic is the one everyone uses, but I'm probably gonna get it this year. I don't know. I'm too attached to the little pop star headset. Is that it as far as my routine? Yeah. Let's see. Next question. How's your Saturday? How's it going? This is for you guys. This is your question. I always make a point in the podcast to ask people how they're doing, because I don't know. Maybe I'm the only person that says that today. Like, I hope you're doing well. Yeah. Next question. Oh, I can breeze through this. What's the farthest place you... Okay. This is boring. What is the farthest place from home you have visited? Italy. Yeah, I think. Right? It's like the farthest east I've gone. I haven't gone to Asia. Yeah, Italy. And then a question related to that. What is one place you have visited that you will for sure go back to? Oh, London, 100%. I like need, it's not like I want to go back there. I like need to go back there. Next question. This is related to dating. Guys, do you want me to elaborate on Italy, and like, do you want me to talk about the trips? Like, do you care? I don't know why travel questions are boring to me. They're just like, you get it. Like, I got on a plane, I flew to a foreign country, I toured around, I got back on the plane, I came back to the United States. Like, I mean, there are many travel stories to tell, but for some reason, I'm just not, I don't know, I'm just not like, things aren't popping to the top of my head about like what exciting thing I could tell you about Italy, or, I think I got robbed. Did we get robbed in Italy? That was, I don't know. We had like such a good time, but, I saw like the Pope. That was cool. Next question. Let's just do this because it's dating related, and this might be interesting because I think I checked, it was like 81% males listening. It went down it was like 85. So next question is, what is a deal breaker / red flag when you start talking to a new guy? Ooh. Oh man, where do I start? This could be an entire podcast. I could just have a podcast called Red Flags. Ooh. I've told you guys about like my pet peeves before with talking to guys, and like in terms of like texting, and I feel like my guy advice is really unhelpful because it's like, don't be a good communicator with me. It's confusing. I feel like I'm very confusing and complex when it comes to that shit. Like, I think anyways, just go listen to previous episodes about that. I feel like I don't know. But a red flag for me, like something that just popped to the top of my head, is when a man is condescending and makes me feel dumb for not knowing something. I know that's so specific. Like, I just want I want you to walk me through something instead of sitting there and going like, are you kidding me? You don't understand this, or you didn't know that? Are you kidding me? How did you not know that? You should know, like, what the fuck? I thought you went to college. I thought you should, like, they're an engineer and I don't know how to be an engineer, and they're like confused by that. You know, I'm just recalling a situation where I was on a date, and I just felt like a dumb fuck when I left. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, just literally be like, oh, let me explain this. This is how it happened. Like, like, I love it when a guy will like use preschool words with me and examples. Like, so imagine you have a monkey and bananas, and they do that example. They walk me through it in a really simple way. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Cause I don't know everything. And a lot of like, I don't know. I hate those like know-it-all answer bitches that just, they like don't understand how condescending and like rude it comes across on a date. And I've experienced that a lot. And I don't know. I just, whatever. That's so specific. I feel like another red flag is obviously like, okay, they don't like animals, or they treat animals poorly, or like, that's really important to me, how you treat animals. And like, it's like, if you don't like a dog, if you don't like dogs, that's, you know, like, obviously an absolute not going to happen in situation for me. Also, and I know some people can't, I feel like it's how you handle it though and talk about it. Some people can't handle their messy family situations and relationships if they were, abusive growing up or whatever. So I have some, I guess, what's the word? Empathy for that. But if you're a guy and you just talk shit about your mom, I don't care how terrible she was to you. That's such a huge red flag to me. Like, I think no matter how flawed a human being is, how flawed your parents are, at some point, if you're talking about them and you're mentioning negative things and you go, they did the best they can. They've got mental health problems and they've got struggles, and they're a human being. And, I know it was tough being their son, but, and they treated me like shit, but, I just, like, if they treat them like a human being with a soul, and I think that makes up for just the shit talk and my mom's a crazy person, and she, yeah. So I think that's a red flag. But again, like, some people can't help that if they didn't have like a wonderful family growing up. So it's kind of maybe not nice to say like, oh, that's a red flag, but it kind of is. It's more like how you talk about your family problems and like if you're just like full blown just angry and bitchy and there's no like understanding for people as on a human being level and like empathy, then I freak out and I'm just like, nope. I don't freak out. What am I saying? Jimmy, hey. Oh fuck. He unplugged. Oh shit. Hey. A squeaker toy. Here you go. Shit. He unplugged the what's it called, a cord on his own. At least it's not plugged in. He can't electrocute himself now. This is really bad. By the way, speaking of cords and my puppy electrocuting himself, I learned on TikTok that there is a thing in the gaming community called, I think it's called cord management, right? Cord management. Like, people show their gaming setup and then they show how they organized all of the cords under the desks and shit. And there's like a legit art to it. And I'm like, wait, I think I need that, because I talked about needing a cord cover so Jimmy doesn't eat through all the shit, like all the cords around my desk and stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna like learn more about cord management. It's like such a fucking nerdy sounding thing. Other red flags, just like that, this is like a really specific thing to me. And I think a lot of girls wouldn't understand this, is like that initial gut feeling you get. If I have any, like, if there's any, it's like, usually, okay, you get the butterflies usually when you really like someone, but if it's like butterflies with fear, that it's like the butterflies sometimes mask the fear, but you still feel the fear. And I've ignored that in the past, even though I felt it, and I've gone through the relationship and it blew up in my fucking face and it was a terrible thing for me. And looking back, I feel like the red flag for me is like, if I feel that in my gut, like that, like this is a bad, don't date this person, like there's something off here, then I get out. Now I'm aware of it, but at first, like, you live and learn, and I think our gut instinct is very important to listen to. I don't want to get too, I don't know, I want to talk about decor. Like the bedroom decor says a lot about you, and like your living environment, like not to be judgmental, but like if your place looks like a frat house, like that's just not going to work for me. Like stuff like that. I don't know. I should move on. I'm kind of like sick of this question. I don't know. I don't know if I like talking about, I didn't, like I said, I didn't prep today. I could have written out a lot of answers for that. There's so many red flags. Like guys have them too. Like, oh, she podcasts 7 days a week. The bitch is crazy. Like legit, she is attention. She needs attention. She needs validation. She, just listen to the show. A bitch is crazy. Like just listen to what she talks about. Listen to her. In fact, yeah, I feel like that's all you need to know. I am a walking red flag. Everything about what I do is, I feel like it's very questionable and confusing and just like, what the fuck? But plenty of fish in the sea. I think you're either with it or you're just so fucking like confused by it, and that's fine. That's cool. I don't like to be too obvious. I think being obvious and predictable is boring, and I like to be full of. I'm a very colorful. Jimmy, I'm a colorful person, and I love sharing it on the podcast with you guys. So, next question. I'm sighing like I don't want to be here. Like, oh fuck. Okay. What is the longest you've gone without alcohol? Ooh. What was I, 18 when I started? 18 years? I mean, technically like 18 years, but like after I started drinking, I was late. I feel like I didn't start till I was a senior in high school. And I occasionally partied. I wasn't like a big partier, But I remember the first time I got really sick from alcohol, I went the longest without drinking after that happened. Because I had downed at this it was like in my hometown, some random farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere. It was like a college rager, it was like at a farm. It was someone's birthday. They had free alcohol. I just remember a girl, like a friend of a friend, gave me a bottle of Grey Goose, and then I drank half of that in like 15 minutes. And I didn't understand that you're supposed to like pace yourself. You don't drink that quickly. Like I didn't never drink, but I wasn't used to hard alcohol like that. I was drinking like Brass Monkeys with the boys in high school. Like I thought that's what you did. Like a fucking, what was it? A 40 ounce with orange juice. I wasn't drinking vodka until college. That's so fucking gross looking back. Anyways, let me think. Yeah, so sorry, I had to like pull the cord again from him. He's destroying it. But after that happened, so I ended up puking. I don't know, I got like picked up. I don't remember what happened, but I couldn't drink. I could like think of the taste of Grey Goose for it. It would like the thought, I could taste it when I thought about it, if that makes sense. And I wonder like if anyone else has that. Like you probably have that. I think most people have that with like Fireball or like Jaeger, like some like nasty, shitty alcohol, like drinking too much and then you can just taste it. Yeah. But I'd say the longest, like when I was vegan, I don't think I drank. Only when I would go home for the holidays. I'm pretty sure like, I don't know, maybe like 8 months since I've started. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Follow up to that, or is like the same person asks 2 questions. What is your favorite cut of meat? Ooh. Oh, okay. Oh shit, my mom makes the best filet. Okay, when I look back at 2020, the best thing I had, like food-wise, was my mom's filet mignon. And she like randomly made it. I remember I was podcasting at like 10 p.m. and there was filet in the oven. And I feel like we already ate dinner and it was super late and she just cooked it at the end of the night. And I was just sitting in the kitchen after I podcasted eating it. It was so good. It was I feel like whenever I go out to restaurants, I always get filet and lobster. Like, that's my go-to. I'd say filet, but I love like tri-tip, prime rib, like steak. If we're talking chicken, I'm a thigh bitch. I do like a thigh on a chicken. I like that dark meat. I'm kind of burnt out of chicken breasts. I don't eat a ton of chicken. I don't know. I just like meat. But yeah, I'm going to say filet. Next question. Oh, I can't answer that. It has to do with something inappropriate, and I will not be answering it. Can you play any instruments? I just had a fucking flashback to band practice in middle school. I mean, I used to play piano. I did like 4 years of that. It wasn't great, but I played piano and flute. And I guess the recorder, but that doesn't count. Like everyone in 4th grade plays that recorder. That I can't even do it. Old MacDonald had a farm. Like everyone knows how to play the recorder, but whatever. Why is that a thing in American like schools? Like everyone in 4th grade, it's like every 4th grader will learn how to play the recorder as a class, and then you go to the assemblies and you perform. That felt like, looking back, is so stupid. But like, I guess it's like, okay, kids should learn how to, read notes or whatever. But I don't even think we read notes. It was like you read finger positions on papers. I don't know. But I played the flute in middle school, and it was difficult to be a student of my band teacher. Let me just say that. Like, I had so much, when I think of like the fear in my gut, speaking of fear in my gut, when I meet a man, that doesn't happen all the time, but the times it does, girls run away. I was a flute player, and there were like four of us girls in middle school that played flute. I was at a Catholic school. It was a small class, and we sat in the front row, and my band teacher would always, like, throughout class, he would call you out and you'd have to play on the spot. And I feel like he paid attention to who was doing the shittiest, like whose notes sounded the most off, and he would call you out. And I suck sometimes. Like, I wasn't the best flute player. My friend next to me, like, got flute lessons on the side. She was incredible. And he would call you out, and he clapped super hard. Like, the way he called you out to play would be like one big clap, obnoxious too. It was like an aggressive clap, and he would just clap and point, and everyone got silent, and then you'd have to like play, and then he would make you play until it sounded good. And it was so scary. Like, I remember, hey, do you guys hear him barking? Come here. He hates me right now. I feel like he, you know what? One thing I'll say about my dog is I think he knows the phone is bad, and I think he knows that when I'm on the microphone every day, that like he gets it, that I'm not giving him attention, and I'm giving you guys attention. Hey, I can't edit this. Please just keep it down. Thanks. Go play with your bone. It's right next to you. Jim. Here he comes. Come on. There you go. He just wants to play. So yeah, I played the flute, and you know what? There's something about band trips. I mean, that's when I started drinking frappuccinos. I started drinking coffee. You go to I feel like we'd perform in the malls during Christmas time and shit. And we'd all take the bus like an hour somewhere, and we'd all get like Subway and frappuccinos. And that's when I started drinking coffee, when I think about it, or on band trips. And a fun fact, my flute was my mom's flute. That was always cool. I was like using the same one she used because she played. But yeah, I feel like that's it for instruments, piano and flute, but not really anymore. Every time I go home, like, we have our old piano in the garage from growing up, and I can still play some songs. Like, I don't know. Okay, next question. Has anyone told you you look like Margot Robbie? What the fuck? Wait, I have to look her up. Is that the Harley, what's that movie? Margot Robbie. I used to get told all the time. I feel like that's a huge compliment. I just feel like her name is hot. Margot Robbie just sounds hot. I used to get told I look like Kourtney Kardashian when I had brown hair. Oh, it is her from that movie. Okay, that's when everyone dressed up like hers for Halloween. Like what, a few years ago? I kind of see it. I don't know. That's really fun. She's gorgeous. Holy shit. Is she Australian? What is she? Yeah. Wow. I've never actually gotten told that, but thank you. That's like so fucking flattering. And I'm like, she is so. I don't think I've seen her on Instagram before. I get it. She's got blue eyes and blonde hair, but like technically I'm a brunette, so I'm a fake blonde and whatever. In fact, my mom and sister were like, "Hey, you should go back to brunette." We were FaceTiming yesterday, and I'm like, "No, I'm not done with the blonde. I actually like it better on me. I feel like brunette is just like okay, this is kind of like weird to say, but I like don't like when I see a brunette in person, like, how do I say this? I don't see brunettes in the same way I used to now that I'm blonde. And I feel like I'm better than them now. Like, I feel like blonde, and I know it's fucked up to say this, but I'm just realizing it now that I've dyed my hair. I just feel like there's something about blonde that seems superior. And I can't put my finger on it. And I know, is that a, hey, do you guys hear him barking? He knows what I'm saying is inappropriate. Hey! Here, I'm going to give him a treat. We're going to walk and talk. But yeah, I feel like ever since I went blonde, I started noticing that. I'm like, brunettes just kind of blend in. And I have a strong opinion about people that are like half brunette, half blonde. I'm like, it's so, whenever I see someone and I'm like, are they blonde? Are they brunette? What's happening? And like their hair's usually balayaged and like super, like, what's the word? I'm like putting my laptop on top of the screen. Come here. It's like, it's pretty because it's like there's so many dimensions and tones to it, but I just get frustrated. I'm like, be blonde or be brunette. Like, don't do the in-between shit. It really, I don't know what it is. I don't like it. And, guys, I just like sharing I don't know. I kind of have fucked up opinions. Or I don't know if it's fucked up. It's just like, they're unnecessary. You know, they're not super important opinions, or they're not super kind. They're very judgmental and specific, but I think it's fun. Like, it's fun to just say stuff that you really think. I don't know. That's why when I went blonde, I told my hairstylist, I was like, I don't want to do like 7 sessions where over time I turn blonde. I said, I want to do it in one day, which I did. It took 7 hours. And I want to be like platinum. I want to be like as blonde as possible. When someone sees me, I want them to be like, oh, she's a blonde. That's all. I'm going to move on because I feel judgmental. But you know what? It kind of feels good. People just need to say what they think. I don't know. And you know what? Let me go on a tangent. I was in a clubhouse. Actually, should I end it talking about the clubhouse I was in about the topic was, or the title of the clubhouse was, should we believe Chris D'Elia? And I was on stage like, I don't know, for an hour talking about it, chiming in. And yeah, I have some thoughts about people being little fucking just snowflakes, fucking sensitive about everything. And all I want to say about that, I'm going to talk about at the end. Let me put a note here. I have some raw opinions about that group, what they were saying. But I just feel like I can't relate to people anymore. Like, the majority of, like, there's so many people on the internet that I'm like, I don't even know the language they're speaking anymore. Okay. And I have some questions for you guys about that and that whole Chris D'Elia thing, because I had mentioned it the day it came out. What was that, a couple of days ago on the podcast? And then I haven't really talked much about it after. But I was in a clubhouse, and I'll end it with that. I'm just gonna answer one more. And then I'll do the Chris D'Elia thing. if you could make a documentary on any topic, what would it be? Ooh. If I could make a documentary on any topic, coffee? No. I don't know. It's so fucking basic. I would love to know the origin. I would want to know, like, if there was a person, like, whoever put peanut butter and chocolate together and 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 invented that combination, or like I want to know when that was created, and like what, like the history around peanut butter and chocolate colliding, because that is the greatest, I feel like, as far as food goes, like that is one of the most pure, perfect combinations of foods of all time. And it's really like a Reese's peanut butter cup, just it does it for my soul. I feel like it does it for so many souls out there. It's perfect. And I'd love to know more. I'd love to know the history of peanut butter and chocolate coming together. And yeah, I don't know. That just came to mind. And also, because I do have a strong opinion on parking lots, I don't know, maybe the history of parking lot design and the structure, and like the original blueprints, and like why they decided to make parking lots squares instead of circles. Like I think they should be, I've talked about it in the past, but I don't know. I could do like a podcast about parking lots. I just feel like they could be improved. And yeah, so I guess I'd say those are kind of dumb topics. Wait, what else? Looking around. A documentary about, damn, okay. It's the afternoon slump. I feel like this is really showing how brain dead I am to even like come up with an interesting topic for a documentary. I'm like, that is such a struggle. Why? Oh. What's like something in history that would be cool to know? I don't know. Whatever. That was the best I could do. But let's move on. That's the Q&A, I guess. I just want to kind of keep it concise. I was in a clubhouse, let's get to the Crystalia thing, about, the topic was, should we believe Crystalia? And the room was created because like a day before he had posted the first video back of him saying, sorry, I fucked up, I have a sex addiction, I'm getting help, blah, blah, blah. He just like aired everything out for 10 minutes. So that's why the room was created. And so a bunch of people came up and talked. There were comedians, there were people that had personal stories with him. You know what? Fuck it. I'll just include myself, including myself. And I was the only one on stage who probably had a positive experience. And and unfortunately, like, there are so many girls that didn't. And a lot of them were very young. So I think at the end of the day, what he did was wrong, and I'm not in support of it at all. However, the reason I'm bringing this up is because of how people decided to come to Clubhouse, and it was like they turned this Crystalia thing into, it was like a lot of people are talking, made it all about them and how men are terrible, men are trash, and it just turned into this anti-men talk. And like, like this one girl was like, people believe, why do people believe men but they don't believe women? And I'm like, what are they saying? Like, they just started saying all this random shit about men and women, and it became something not about Crystalia. And then when it was about Crystalia, it was just like, he didn't apologize correctly. He should have said this. He's not sincere. He's not being genuine. Did you notice how when he looked up to the left there, he was probably lying, and that was a lie, and da, da, da. Like, they just really picked him apart. And what I'm saying is that I just felt like the only person in the room who goes, okay, we all know what he did was fucked up. I could go off on my opinions about pedophilia and what he did, and whether or not people get dramatic as fuck. And all I heard was, these were children he was talking to and texting. They were children. They were innocent children. They were, and they were 17. And oh my God, these poor young children. And I'm like, okay, I get they were underage. They were 17. However, there haven't been any legal. So I don't know what the technical terms are, legal proceedings with this Crystalia thing at all. Like no one's taken this to the federal level and gotten the court involved because of what he did to them, like as that I know of. And in these messages people are referring to when he talked to underage girls, I remember like the one everyone's referring to, it's like he found out she was 17 and just ghosted. Like he didn't continue with this girl. Like I'm not saying that's right. There's a lot of and honestly I believe he knew what he was doing was shady and wrong. Even though I think he said he just thought that, oh, this is what happens when you get famous and da da. And a lot of people were pissed off that he used that card, and he was like, well, I'm famous and I could get it was easy. It was easy for me to get girls because I would get so many messages and da da da. Whatever. I just, what am I trying to say? Yeah, it just like the room was really, it just got really messy, and no one was looking at him as a human being with a problem that he didn't ask for. And I guess the question I have for you guys, or just in general, is how do we handle a public figure like that? Like, should they be axed forever? And, a lot of people think he should be in jail. I personally don't. That's just my opinion. I don't think what he did is illegal. It technically is not illegal. And I think it was, there's like the grooming stuff and the, just like the weird messages and shit. But I guess, yeah, what do we do with someone like that? Do we want them to, get the fuck out of the spotlight, live a quiet life? We don't care about you being a comedian ever again. We don't want to see you on the internet, social media. We don't need you to be in any Netflix specials again, in interviews, on other podcasts. Like, we are fucking done. Like, do we want a person to just like get canceled and be canceled forever? Who has like, when I say treat him like a human being, I'm like, why can't someone, like, don't we want people to evolve and get better? And like I know it's not a light switch that just turns off when you have a sex addiction. In fact, Chris said that himself. Like, it's something you have to fucking work on. And it's not like, it's like with anything, someone who's an alcoholic or they're addicted to porn, or I guess that's a similar sex addiction. But I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I hate cancel culture because I'm like, I think I like what he did was wrong. I don't support it, and also I want him to be back on his podcast and maybe talk about it. But see, that's where a lot of people in the room are just like, we shouldn't give him any spotlight. Like, he should be ignored. Nobody should, because of what he did and da da da. And I get it. I don't know. I'm kind of like at a loss, to be honest. What do you guys think? Do you think what he did deserves to be, like, he should be executed forever? Executed? Canceled forever? Same thing. Or do we accept his apology? Because back to the title of the room, do we go, he knows he fucked up, he is sorry, he's seeking help, he's he's told us everything that, well, I mean, probably not, obviously not everything. There's always more, and there's maybe that's what people they're suspect. They're like, or they suspect he's withholding a lot of shit. Whatever. And then there's a whole, like, he said, I've only ever had consensual relationships, or where everything's been consensual. And to be honest, I fucking believe that. I do. And so a lot of people in the room were just like, that's all bullshit. He had to say that because of legal reasons. And if he apologized to the victims, then that would basically be him. That would mean he was admitting that he's guilty or whatever. there's a lot of lawyers in the room. I was like, okay, you know, they know what's up, but I don't know. Just let me know. I do think it's an interesting topic because you know how I feel about cancel culture and like, guys, and another thing is like, as a woman in the room, I couldn't relate to like 90% of the women in there talking about this. And I was like, what's fucked up about me that it's just because, you know, when I say I can't relate, it's like they get so extreme with the men versus women stuff. And I'm like, whoa, like these are ideas and thoughts I've never experienced. And they're all like conventionally attractive, like normal chicks that they're in entertainment that act like they're fucking, I don't know. And I don't know their personal stories, but I just, like, I've had bad experiences with guys, but I don't make it this like, I don't know, they just go, it's so dramatic and they use language that I just don't understand. I don't know. Like, what's something someone said? Like, there was a girl kind of in my camp of things just like speaking up, and she got exiled from the room. I'm glad I didn't flap my gums, but because of this one girl saying, I just told my story, and she had she didn't have a personal story with her and Chrisley at all. And she's like, I just practice vulnerability. I just told my story, and how dare you say anything to cut me off and not agree with me, and da-da-da. And it's like, if anyone disagreed, that's why I was scared to talk. I was like, if I even bring up anything about, you know, wanting, like, do we want Chris to get better? Do we care? Like, anything regarding, can we, like, is it okay if he has a career, but he, and like, do we want him to become a better person, or do we want him to be canceled forever and live in a hole? Like, I don't know. But it just got so dramatic, and I don't know. I was in the wrong. I don't know. I should not have been in there probably, because I felt like an alien. I was like, whoa. And these people, like, at the end of the day, they said, oh yeah, this room's been going on for 8 hours. They've all been in there for 8 hours. I'm like, these are fucking bored people. Well, this is important to talk about. We need to talk about this more. Women's voices need to be heard. We have a lot of work to do. I think women let men get away with a lot of shit, and that we're to blame sometimes. And we act like we're the victims when, okay. I honestly think it takes two to tango, and women need, more skills with men or some shit, because it's not all their fault. I think this is the thing I understand about men, is a lot of the ways women, okay, sorry. I could not believe when I heard this. Someone explained consent and said, even after you consent and have sex with someone, and so you consented to have sex, the man, is like two people agreeing and have that conversation. Yes, I'm okay with this. Okay. Someone said, even after you consent with someone, you can change your mind and say that you weren't okay with it. And they were all fucking on board with that. And I'm sitting there going, wait a minute. So you leave the dude's house. You go home and cry because you feel gross about having sex with a stranger or whatever, like, who the fuck knows. And you feel weird about it, and so then you can reverse your consent. It's fluid. What did they say? Like, it can always change. Consent can be reversed. I'm sitting there going, wait a minute. How is the guy supposed to fucking know that? He just thought it was okay. And now you're going to come back to him and cry and say, oh, I wasn't okay with it? See, and then everyone was going and talking off about this, and I'm like, how is a man supposed to know? I feel like there's a lot of situations where men just, and everyone says, well, it should be black and white, it should be clear as day if you consent, Like, obviously, yes, I agree with that, but some of this crazy ass shit I was listening to, I'm like, the poor guy doesn't fucking know. And I think it's a lot of after the fact stuff with women, where they feel like they played the game, had sex with someone, everything's good, and then decide after the fact that it was rape or whatever the fuck, or they make it something it wasn't. And I think that's a thing. I do know that is a thing. And it's fucked up. And I just think that is part of the equation too. It's not all, all men's fucking fault, or like it's, I don't know. I just felt like I was in a room full of crazy people. They were super sensitive and just super bored with, and I was like I think I was in for an hour. I don't know. And I know a lot of this stuff I said is probably controversial and fucked up, but I don't know. I'm still kind of like finding my voice and how I think about misogyny and the patriarchy and men in this world and what should be done to prevent things like this from happening. And then, like, I don't know. Yeah, and here's a tip. Let me just end on something positive. And I honestly, I have to say, I did learn a lot. I learned a lot. There's a really cool girl in there. She had the floor most of the time, and she said, because a dad had been in there, and he said, I have a young daughter. Like, what do I do to help her in her future interacting with men? And he said, the girl responded and said, create a world where she won't have to worry about that. And I guess the tip or the thing I learned is talk to your friends. Like, guys, talk to your friends about this stuff. Have conversations about dudes being shady in the friend group and talking to younger girls or whatever the fuck. And usually you don't know. See, a lot of the stuff that Chris did, it's like you wouldn't, it looks normal. It's like girls out at the comedy clubs. It's just like groupie culture. It's always been a thing with rock stars and entertainers. I don't know. Fuck. I just feel like weird about this actually, but I guess my summary of the whole experience sitting in that room and hearing people talk about Chris D'Elia is I'm more on the side of wanting him to like grow and change and learn and become a better person and potentially have a career again at some point, because he didn't ask to be a sex addict. It wasn't like, a lot of the shit, I'd say he was in control. He made these choices, and somewhere in his head, I'm sure he knew these choices were wrong, like morally just fucked up. But, I think a lot of people have flaws and no one's perfect. And I think he's an example of someone who isn't perfect. And I feel like shouldn't we want people that are fucked up to get better? Instead of just like going off about how all men are fucking evil and they're all rapists and they're all pedophiles and they're just like that room just turned into this gross situation where I don't know. It's so dramatic. And do you guys think he should be? So I was on that side of things, and I think the counter argument is he should be in prison and, canceled forever. So where do you stand on it? I am curious. Let me know. I know this Q&A got weird at the end, but it's a current topic. It's a hot topic. And I am very curious. This is what I'm very curious about. Like, will he be on Rogan again? Like, I know Whitney Cummings and him are not a thing. Like, she isn't cool with any, like, they're done as a friendship, I guess. But it'll be interesting to see, like, if any comedians or which big comedians in his circle, like, interact with him publicly, or like if he goes on podcasts, if he does his own podcast. Like, I have no clue what his next steps are going to be, but I think this is classic, what is the word, damage control, or like when you get like the timing of him getting canceled is very reminiscent of people in the past that have been canceled for different shit. When they get canceled and like come back out with a statement, or like they like go public again with their shit, like what is it called? They emerge again. And so a lot of people are pissed about that. They're like, oh, this is classic 101. He's going to get away with this because enough time has passed where, whatever. Here's what I have to say about just how I received the video and him coming out and saying all the shit and the apologies. Like, and maybe it's because all of his fans follow his YouTube video, but like, it was like, if you look at the comments and the likes on that video, it's well received. And I think a lot of people are like, dude, take your time. We know you know you have an issue. We know you have an issue. We want you to get better. Like, it was supportive. And I don't know, it kind of felt nice to see that instead of a bunch of people just shitting on him. Because that took a lot of bravery. I don't think it's easy what he did. He said a lot of personal shit. Then people go, well, what about the victims? You know, they're fucked up forever. All these young girls are fucked up forever. And you know what? Well, I don't know. Nothing's perfect. Life isn't perfect. I've been entangled with men and done some shit that I wasn't too, looking in retrospect or whatever it's called, looking back, I'm like, wow, I was fucked up when I was involved in that. But hey, I learned a lot. I grew as a person, nothing terrible I can say, but just like psychological abuse and, narcissistic abuse and emotional abuse. Like, I've had that kind of stuff where I don't know. It's part of growing up. Some girls have to learn the hard lessons with older men. It's a thing that's not going away. It's not going away. And I think there's a lot of wishful thinking and dreaming out there about how this society is just like, men are going to change and they're not going to look at young girls and think they're hot and sexy, want to have sex with them. That's not going to go away. That's literally like a instinctual genetic, what the fuck do you call it? DNA primal thing. And I understand it was a bunch of men in the room who decided that the age of, 18 was the age, and that's all fucked up in itself. That this all has to do with men and their fucking issues, fucking with their dicks. But it's just, I don't know. It's just all I have to say. All right, I'm gonna end it there. I got a computer on low battery because my son unplugged the GPS cord, the fucking electrical cord. So this could just die right now. So that's it. Love you guys lots. Happy Saturday. Saturday. Hit that subscribe button. I'll be here tomorrow. And I'm here 7 days a week. And finally, head over to patreon.com/TJMS to support the show, get access to my content, get exclusive pics, videos, shout outs, phone calls. Check it out. Patreon.com/TJMS. And finally, if you think I'm a piece of shit for what I said about Crystalia and my opinions, go over to the Apple Podcast app and leave me a 1-star review. Let people know that I don't know. I just feel like that ending is an automatic. Some chick's gonna be pissed. Some dude maybe. I don't know. It's gonna be like 1 star. She doesn't know what she's fucking talking about. I don't know. I'm off the cuff. I don't prep for this. That just came to mind to talk about that Clubhouse and whatever. All right. Love you guys lots, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye.